Hey guys, it's Covers 32 Special. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by. This video is going to be more for the people that are new to firearms. Something, because it's going to be about what I use to clean and store firearms. So those of you who have been doing this a while, I appreciate it if you'd stop, listen and drop comments. Let me know what you use. Maybe I can try something that works a little better. That would, I'm always willing to learn. But for those who are not familiar with firearms, or they're just getting into it, here's a quick overview of what I use. I originally picked up a gun care and cleaning kit, just a inexpensive, I don't even know what store, probably some sporting goods department of some bigger department store. It has a aluminum 3-piece rod that each piece threads into the one before it, so that way you can reach down the barrel of a long barrel of a rifle, but you can also use it shorter if you're cleaning just a pistol. Which, however much I like, this one has served me well. I like it, but I wanted to get away from the aluminum. I went and spent myself a little more money. Got myself a Hops number 9 with a brass rod, which, personal preference, I just like the brass. And the nice case, was a bonus as well. Gave me somewhere a little more secure to keep it than just in a flimsy plastic box. For a lot of firearm types, shotguns, handguns, bolt-action rifles, which is where the majority of my experience comes from, a easy way to take care of them, is the Hops solvent, nitro solvent, I think they call it, but it's just the Hops number 9 solvent and the Hops oil. Hops, hoppies, however you want to say it. It has served myself, my father, my grandfather, extremely well. The only place I found where this oil wasn't quite cutting it for me was in the AR platform. I still use the Hops solvent to clean it, but I ended up having to go with a different lubricant to keep everything wet enough that it would run reliably, and I ended up going with Frog Loop CLP for that because I was able to get it on sale at a local shop. No complaints for it. I have only been using it a couple months. For those of you who are unfamiliar, basic cleaning. And if you can get to the breech end, especially on a bolt gun, it's better to clean from the breech to the muzzle. Hold on. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Again, this is for the people that are new to firearms. I'll just use my Savage 308 as an example. Now, you always want to clear your firearm, so magazine out, bolt open, visual inspect the chamber, which is down, within, in front of where the bolt will close to. For cleaning, I highly suggest removing your bolt, which, depending on your which rifle you have that they are removed differently. On the Savage Model 11, there is a button right on the front of the trigger guard. You have to pull it at the same time that you pull the trigger, and then the bolt can be pulled straight back and out. So, now that the bolt's out, the gun is clear, it is safe. To clean it, I'm not going to fully assemble the rod, but you take you have a series of size of ends in that thread into your cleaning rod. I like the just doing it, cleaning my guns with soft patches, a little easier on the rifling. Some people say you need to scrub at them more. I've always been leery of doing that. You want to clean from the breech end, which is the back of the barrel, so that, and then so that instead of cleaning from the muzzle. Some firearms like the lever actions are hard to do that with, so you might have to figure things out. But once you assemble the your rod, put the correct tip in it, given whatever bore size you have. Put a patch on it, which is just a piece of lint-free cloth. Put a little bit of cleaning solvent on the patch. Again, I like the hops solvent. There's other ones that are also good. You run it in from the breech end, run it completely through. Of course, I keep hitting the edge of the barrel instead of going down the bore. And you just run it, run it up through and back. You run it through a couple times, 2 or 3, 4, however many you decide you need. Let it sit for, say, 2 minutes. Then take take the solvent-soaked patch out of your tip. Put a clean patch on. Run it up through the barrel a couple times, 2 or 3 times. To help dry it. Then you can take some of your oil, apply it to the patch, and up from the breech end towards the muzzle again, and run it through a couple times. And back out. Then I always grab a second patch, or I'll grab the solvent patch again now because it's off. I'll wipe down the bolt, and then I'll take the oil patch out of the tip of the cleaning rod and wipe down the bolt with it. And some people may have different ways of doing it. That's how I've always done, especially bolt guns, and I've never had any problems with it. Semi-autos, pump actions, lever actions are going to be a little different, a little more complicated. Bolt actions are relatively simple. Alright guys, for those who are new to firearms, I hope this was useful. I encourage you to check out gunchannels.com. It is, as Ghost Tactical puts it, the water cooler of the gun world. There's great conversations over there, people with some incredible knowledge. You can ask plenty of questions, someone will answer it. As well as I encourage you to check out guntube.org, and yes, that is a .org. GunTube is being funded primarily from Night Strike's own pocket, that's who owns it, with help through a Patreon account. So if you like the content that you're getting through the firearms community, GunTube is a much less restrictive platform than YouTube is, and it was created for freedom-loving people who want to be able to speak their minds without being censored. I would greatly encourage you to check out the patreon.com/GunTube page and contribute if you can. Alright guys, also you can check out more, you can check me out on YouTube, Instagram, a little bit on Twitter, GunTube, which is, I encourage you to do, Gunstreamer, and UGETube. Links for everything in the description below. Alright guys, have a wonderful night.